You might have heard gurus talk about providing value, but how do you actually provide value? How can you actually equate something to of monetary value? Let's understand this in this video, and you'll also realize how you can increase or decrease the value of certain product. Why decrease? It's because if you want to downsell something, or like it's a negotiation power. So, this is what I would do if someone wants a price decrease. See, this is what I usually do in a negotiation. If someone wants a price decrease, what I would tell them is, okay, you want me to remove this from the offer? Then they're like, no, no, I want that. So then you have to pay the full price. So that kind of gives me an edge, and also it's better and easier to negotiate without all those awkward pauses and weird spaces. So that's a tip you can take from this. So coming back to the value equation, how to actually provide value or create value per se. Yes, you can create value out of thin air, and this is how. So this is a value equation by Alexa Mosi. There are 4 aspects of an offer, and that equates to the complete value of increase or decrease. So first of all, mostly in this video, I want to talk about increase because we have to increase our prices and also increase the value. This I'm telling you to keep that analogy in the mind. So first of all, dream outcome. You know what dream outcome is? Let's take assume here like a really beautiful body, or like that there's washboard abs. You get the point. The dream outcome can be anything. It may be money, a house. But for this example, for this whole video, I'm gonna use a beautiful body. So one more thing about dream outcome is obviously you'd want to make it as big as possible. See, lose weight isn't as sexy, if I may say. It doesn't sound as sexy as possible, but if you say you can get washboard abs in just 90 days, now that's very specific, and also it's focusing on a really big outcome, and that's kind of crazy. And second is perceived likelihood of achievement. So how likely is someone to achieve that certain dream outcome? So for example, here it's the perceived likelihood of achievement for abs in 90 days. For some people, it might be low because it's perception, right? It's not actual value, but it's the perceived value. But how do you increase this perceived value? You show them the results, you show them client testimonies, you give them a crazy guarantee, and you tell them that this is likely to achieve. It's all in the marketing, it's all in how you sell, and it's also mostly in how you tell your customers that, look, this is possible, it has been happened, and the perceived likelihood of achievement makes it easy for you to sell and also market. The best example would be how to make money. Now in the current gen, it has kind of become easy for the urban youth to think that, okay, earning money is probably easy. So the perceived likelihood of achievement for money for a youth would be probably higher compared to someone who's worked hard, or from a previous generation, or millennial or a boomer, because they have worked actual hard. I mean, like, they worked really hard to make money, and money back then was worth a lot. So in our example, the perceived likelihood of achievement depends on how you're going to market and whom you're going to market. So let's say there are skinny people who would want to wash good abs. It is obviously way high because they probably already have abs because they don't have a lot of fat. But if you target people who don't have abs, then the perceived likelihood decreases. And also it depends on what the location is. You got to do your research to actually make this better. But simple ways to make it better is client testimonies, research, guarantee. I know, to tell them that this is state of auto. The best way, the fastest we can increase the perceived likelihood of achievement is to tell them that you're doing something new. So like, what am I talking about this new thing? So you might have seen some companies talk about this state of the art technology or something like that. Well, it probably is a newer technology for sure, but when someone hears something new, they're more likely to think that it's gonna work because they haven't tried it ever before. So if you tell them no keto, no paleo, no diet, you can lose weight eating what you want and get washboard abs eating what you want, then the perceived likelihood of achievement is gonna increase for your customer. So these two were the positive aspects of our offer, that means you're supposed to increase them if you want to increase the offer. Now coming to the decrease of it. So the first one is time delay. See, if I tell you you're gonna get a washboard abs in 1 year and you gotta pay me, no one's gonna buy it because in 1 year you can do it yourself and still figure it out. But people want fast results, unless you are in morgue, of course. But anyway, there is some kind of There is some kind of, time delay to achieve something in life. But what if we just decrease the time delay? Some people run their whole value offer just on this, just on time delay. What they do is just get, make money fast. This has been trending in India. People are selling how to make money fast, how to lose weight fast, do weird things. That comes under this. Try to, delay, time delay so much. Alex Amos uses this example, and this is like you can use it as a threshold or like a goal to achieve. The time delay should be so less that, for example, if it's a marketing agency, that the moment a client signs a deal, the money goes into his bank account. I know it's pretty crazy, but that kind of time delay is gonna make you a lot of money, of course, because if they give you 100, you're gonna make them 1,000 in no time. You are gonna get customers. And lastly, effort and sacrifice. So what am I talking about here? See, now let's talk about this beautiful body thing. Is it easier to just go and get a plastic surgery, or is it easier to get us, go to the gym, do your work, you eat food you don't like? Exactly, the latter is much easier, but this one costs more. That's what I'm talking about, monetary value. So, if people, it's not that people don't want to put effort, but the mind has its way for the. Oh, you shit. Okay. The mind has its own way to find its least resistant path, and it will always for sure go for it. So they want the least effort and sacrifice. See, what many companies I do making mistake is, you tell your customer to fill a form, you tell your customer that to do a 10-step process, they're gonna leave right away. So try to keep the process as simple as possible. Not easy for sure, like going to the gym and doing all of this is complex without a trainer. That's what trainer does. He removes the effort and sacrifice of learning new things, and he eases the learning curve. Learning curves do get kind of annoying, and he makes it easy. Now, here's a better analogy for you. You remember I talked about the zero time delay? See, as soon as like the customer signs the papers, the contracts, you just pay them up money up front. So this is the concept here. 1 divided by 0. What do I mean by this? See, if you even provide like a little dream outcome with a little perceived likelihood of achievement, but there is no time delay and there is no effort and sacrifice, now you have provided infinite value. The best example I can give is water bottle. You pay 20, you get the water bottle. While it doesn't complete any huge dream outcome, it just fills your tummy with water. And the perceived likelihood of achievement is pretty high because you're buying the water bottle and you know that there's not going to be poison and you're going to just drink water. That's it. So both of them are low, but there is no time delay. You pay, you get the water bottle. And did you have to do any effort and sacrifice? Not much. You just got to open the bottle and drink it. Try to get the both these below to as much as zero. While that might not be possible, but yeah, get it close to zero. Then, of course, your product or the service will be valuable. I can't promise you're going to make $1 million because it also depends on a lot of other factors. But one of the biggest and main factors is to get the value right. If people actually see the value, why won't they buy from me? So, I mean, that's how I want you to think of value from now on. What people do is they see the cost and then they put the price, they put their profit marginal and they sell it, because that's not how it works. It depends on how much the customer perceives the value of it, kind of like that. So the perceived value is actually where the key is, not the cost. Perceived value is where the key is, not the cost of the product. Actually, the cost of the product would be irrelevant when you are making a value offer, an offer which is so valuable, people say no to. I mean, people who feel difficult to say no to. Forgot to add the infinity sign. So today, before you leave, this is the homework. I want you to take an offer or a value, anything it is. It doesn't really matter. I even give you example of the water bottle. So I want you to take a dream outcome, whatever it is, the perceived likelihood of achievement, time, dinner, and effort and sacrifice. And if you want help with the homework, even though you really don't, let me take an example. Let's say you sell protein bars. Let's say you sell protein bars. What's your dream outcome? It has to be tasty, but it also has to be healthy, like high in protein, high in fiber. You get the point. I mean, it depends on what target you're doing. High fiber really doesn't matter for gym dudes, but just kidding. Whatever the point being, it should be healthy and also it should be tasty. I mean, like good in taste. What's the perceived likelihood of achievement? It can vary on how you want to sell your product. And the time delay. What's the time delay? It's actually nil. Unless you are an e-commerce brand, then what I would suggest you to is delay the steps the customers take. Actually delay the time, whatever this whole happens from them seeing your ad to them finally getting the product in their house. You can also try a subscription model, which is like barely any effort and it's like a lot of value added to your company. And finally, effort and sacrifice. What is it they are losing? Are they losing on the taste? Are they losing on something? No. This is, I want you to list down 10 dream outcomes they get from one single product or service you have. What is the perceived likelihood of achievement? What's the time delay? And what's the effort and sacrifice? And if you have a product which can't get like 10 points for each, you will have a bundle or you will have an offer, right? Take that offer 10, 10, 10, and 10. Write them down and try to increase these, but also at the same time reduce these. And that's your marketing message actually. And you can get a lot of ideas from that. So that's how I would prefer to do it. So I'll write it up. 10 everything. So you're gonna do kind of all it obviously. And then you'll find your value increase actually. I mean, you're supposed to increase the value. You get the point. Thank you.